when you least expect it, good Lord, the 49ers jumping from 12 to 3 to get, presumably, not Caleb Farley, not the tackle from Oregon, not anybody but a quarterback.
Like I said, I will be shocked. I'll be shocked if it's not Mac Jones at number 3. I really would be. I called my shot. See, there it is. It's finally happening.
It finally happened. It finally happened 4 years later, almost exactly 4 years later. But we talked about this plenty at the time, and those 4 years have flown by.
Man.
Mac Jones was believed to be the target of the 49ers at some point after they traded up, maybe when they did trade up, and it went from Jones to Trey Lance. Somebody talked Kyle Shanahan off of Mac Jones and on to Trey Lance. That's what we concluded at the time. We've never heard anything to contradict it, and now the news from last night supports it. Mac Jones, the moment he's finally free to sign with any team, signs with Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers. It's a 2-year deal worth $7 million. The starting quarterback's making $5.2 million for 2025 in the last year of his contract. And I think it makes things a little interesting now at a time when they're hoping to maybe get the right number in place to keep Brock Purdy around long term. They have an in-house alternative. And I know that Mac Jones isn't as accomplished as Brock Purdy, but look, I know it makes people mad when we point out the truth. Brock Purdy may have been the ultimate right place, right time guy. Not that he has no skills.
Yeah,
he's just not top 5. He's not top 10. He's somewhere between, what, Chris? 11 and 17?
Sure.
Is that fair?
I think so. I think that's about the range. I think you're right about that. Right? I mean, there's a reason that he lasted to the last pick in the draft. And again, not to say that a lot of people in the NFL weren't wrong. I was wrong. Certainly didn't see the talent that I see here. So that's like, you're going to miss some guys. And I give Shanahan and them credit, Lynch and everybody, for finding Brock Purdy, making him the last pick of the draft, seeing something in him to where they thought maybe he could be something there, certainly. But, ultimately, and I know and I've said it many a times because I root for the 49ers and Shanahan and Lynch and all that. Yeah, I did not want them to pay Brock Purdy huge life-changing money. We know that's going to happen, but $55 million. Right, those are where I was like, wait, you're going to pay that for a guy that, is good, but I don't know how good he would be if he was on other teams and other offenses and other situations. This is like you said, right spot, right time, perfect team, perfect offensive coordinator to make it all work. And, the what-ifs of all of this are hilarious because what if they did take Mac Jones and what would his career be like? And would Brock Purdy even be there if that did happen? Things might be a lot different in the NFL world and a lot of these guys' lives if Mac Jones was picked at number 3.
And now there's a new alternative that is in place in theory. It doesn't mean the 49ers are secretly plotting to throw Brock Purdy overboard and go with Mac Jones, but you have a backup who has experience, who can play if need be. And the question ultimately becomes, and we went through this 2 years ago when Sam Darnold went to the 49ers. Could Sam Darnold be better than Brock Purdy in that offense? We never got to see it. There was a moment where we thought we were going to see it against the Cincinnati Bengals because Purdy got concussed on a Monday night in Minnesota and somehow got cleared 5.5 days later to play, but we thought it was going to be Darnold then. All it takes is one injury, and we get to see what Mac Jones can do in that offense. And that's the reality. You throw in the fact that they've had a lot of high-end talent around Purdy. I mean, this really is a high-wire act in 2025 for Purdy.
Yeah.
And that's why if I'm the 49ers, I put a number out there that I think it's going to be hard for him to refuse because the alternative is to play for $5.2 million. And I don't want to screw the guy. I don't want it to be unfairly low. I don't want it to be an insult.
Yeah.
But I put the low end of not insulting out there, and he has to decide, do I take the bird in the hand or do I carry the injury risk or the risk that the chariot's going to turn into a pumpkin into my 4th NFL season at $5.2 million? What does it take to get him to give that up. And I think the realistic assessment would be, and this is where you have to be objective about your own skills and abilities. What would somebody offer if he was on the open market a year from now? What would they offer? What would they offer?
Yeah,
Sam Darnold got $33.5 million this year as the crown jewel of the quarterback free agency class, going 14-3, having mostly great games, except for a little bit of a shart, London, against the Jaguars and the Titans in the middle of the season. He came on strong near the end of the year. Then he had something more than shart against the Lions week 18. If that's $33.5 million, working with great quarterback whisperer, great play caller, great play designer, that same asterisk is going to apply to Purdy. So if the best of the best available this year was $33.5 million, if Purdy was free next year, how much more than $33.5 million is he going to get?
Right. That's the question, right? That's the question I've posed. I've said that on different radio stations, my podcast, whatever else there. And that's where, again, we talk about this a lot, this conversation with quarterbacks getting overpaid and teams paying a premium when I want to go, wait, the market doesn't match that, what you want to do. But I think also, too, right, Purdy, I think there's a little bit of like a tax right now at the quarterback situation of like, hey, well, you got one, so he's one of them. And where are you going to find your next one that could do what he does? And can you be as successful with the next guy and all that? And then, like you talk about the respect within not only the locker room to make sure the guy looks like, the commander-in-chief and the guy that's going to lead our team on the football field. You want to make that look right as well. But yeah, where's that magic number? And I kind of align with you in the fact that, yeah, I would want it to be more on the low end of not disrespectful. Right? And somewhere in the low 40s, right? Somewhere in that range. That's what I would want to do if I was signing Brock Purdy. He is really good. I get that, right? But yes, I question about how good he would be in other places. Certainly, he's not carry the team on my back type of guy. We're talking about giving $50 million to a guy also that was 6-11 last year and didn't play great football. That's what I think is also crazy, too. We're all just going, well, it's been better than we expected. They got their quarterback, and they went to the Super Bowl with him 2 years ago. All right, I get it. The Super Bowl wasn't all that great. There was plays there to be had that could have won them the football game. We know that. There was moments there that were left on the field, plays, yards, all of that. And then to come back the next year and not play good football, right? That's where I think it's crazy. But hopefully they can find the sweet spot. We'll see. Mac Jones will certainly make things competitive. We know that. Mac Jones is a great insurance policy to have as a backup quarterback. And in a year where their team might not be as talented, yeah, these quarterbacks better be on their A game, and they're going to have to execute, and they're not just going to be able to walk on the field as the 49ers and go, we're the biggest, baddest team on the field. We're just going to beat you no matter what. It's going to be a little different out there this year.
Right now, would you rather have Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy go?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one.
But wait,
yeah.
Just the fact that you said that.
I know. That
we
says
had this
it all.
conversation with
Right.
Purdy and Derek Carr
a
few weeks ago.
Right.
If you can't figure out which guy you want,
exactly.
and Carr's at 40,
right.
then Purdy shouldn't be getting more than 40.
I agree.
If you can't figure out which guy you want between Darnold and Purdy, maybe Purdy's 33.5 after all.
Well, I mean,
that's the thing, and this is the great example of it. Teams, what the hell are you doing throwing this gigantic sum of money, top of the market, at a guy that there wouldn't be that market for? That's what's been crazy about the NFL the past however many years.
Right.
10 years, 20 years? Oh, we got a quarterback. He's due for a new contract. What do we do? Make him the highest paid player in NFL history. Okay, good idea.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't. It does not make sense to me. And like we said, it's a business where there's penny pinching. We're worried about balance and spreadsheets, but for whatever reason with the quarterback position, it's just like, give them the top of the market no matter what. That's where we're going to go. And, Mike, yeah, to break that down even further, right? I mean, when you break down Sam Darnold next to Brock Purdy, okay, athletic-wise, it's close. I'll probably say it's a push around there, right? Quickness of the release, I'm going to go with Sam Darnold. Power in their arm, I'm also going to go with Sam Darnold, right? The only thing that leaves you really going Brock Purdy over Sam Darnold a little bit is the things you talked about just a second ago. the end of the year and those things. We've seen Purdy play good football in big moments as a whole, right? It hasn't been great. Again, I mean, he did throw 4 interceptions playing the Ravens late in a December game, and right, he didn't play all that great against the Packers in the divisional round. Right. Well, yeah, you remember that.
I remember that 49ers-Ravens game.
Divisional round against the Packers that year. They should have lost that game. They were outplayed. He probably should have thrown 3 or 4 interceptions that day that just hit the Packers in the chest, drop ball. So, yes, again, it's really good. But the aura or just the perception around the two is that Sam Darnold chokes in a big game moment and Brock Purdy is better than expected and doesn't choke, even though he doesn't have the talent Sam Darnold does. And that seems to make everybody feel more comfortable in the Brock Purdy pot right now than Sam Darnold.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.